Imagine your tutor being so jealous of you that they try to ruin your life. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another review on the Review Garden. That's the story between Young Woo and Kwang Min. So the beginning of episode 13, we got a glimpse to see how they first met. So Young Woo's mom hired Kwang Min to tutor Young Woo in his studies, and she wanted him to get into the best college possible. But it seems like Kwang Min didn't go to an excellent college, so the mom kind of made him feel small about it. She gave him extra money to kind of prove his worth, and told him, like, don't become friends with her son, just focus on studying and so forth. And she also told Jung Woo, like, don't don't list don't become friends with him. He's just your tutor, and that's it. So you kind of see, in a way, their quote friendship kind of blossomed from there. But Kwang Min, at first, he was like, he wanted to pity him, but the fact that with Young Woo's personality, he was always so happy and outgoing, even though he had like the best grades, he was always happy. And for some reason, Kwang Min hated him for that. And he also hated the fact that, Young Woo never tried to belate to belittle him in a way, which is so weird. And if you remember, after episode 12, the white truck made an appearance in yet another K drama, and the white truck hit Hanol and Kwang Min's car. Well, they were in the car. So we saw that, Hanol went into surgery. We we still don't know what happened to, like, I'm almost like, I'd say 20 minutes in to episode 13, and they still haven't told you yet what happened to Kwang Min, and I don't think anyone else knows yet what happened to him. But Hanel made it through surgery, and she woke up, and her family was there. The only thing I found weird was that her best friend, they didn't really tell her because she wasn't there waiting for her to wake up. So I don't know if they did let her know about what happened to Hanol. But Young Woo is being the supportive boyfriend now, which he did really good with Hanel's family, like, calming them down and letting them know and kind of taking charge, because he's a doctor. He knows what questions to ask. Whereas, Hanel's mom is like shaking and she doesn't know what to do, but he kind of took charge. And I think her mom kind of appreciate that he did that. And it was so cute when he was like, when she woke up and he was like, somebody has to stay behind, and everybody was saying they're staying behind, but he was like, no, y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go now. And I think this was also the first moment that he realized that he loved her, which he did tell her, I love you. She hasn't said it back yet, but I mean, there's no pressure for her to say it back. She just woke up from a big bad accident. And Daeyoung and Hongrang came to see her and witness him pretty much saying, I love you again with all my heart. And, Daeyoung started teasing him um, for it. But it's cute. They came to see her, and when her mom and her brother came to see her in the hospital the next day, you know, she thought well, I should say they thought that he would have some kind of reaction because he found out that Kwan Ming was in the car with her, but when they walked up to the room, he was pretty much feeding her. And then they were both kind of like, baby talking with each other. So it was cute. Also, and then also, even though he was trying to keep it quiet in the workplace that they were both dating, I mean, everyone pretty much picked up on the fact that they were dating. Like, people are not that clueless, that because they kept going in the stairs. um you know they fought in front of them a couple of times, with the whole omelet incident. So they caught on pretty quickly as to them dating each other. During the episode, also, Jungwoo got to get more information about what happened during Hanel's accident. Um, while he was at work, the guy who planted all of the cameras over his business came to see him, and he started, telling him that, hey, he mentioned the video camera with Hung Min, and he acted weird, right? He wasn't acting the correct way he's supposed to be acting. So, um, so he was pretty much telling him that there's a possibility he was involved in the medical accident, right? So while he was talking to him, the cops were calling Jung Woo, and when he went to the station, they pretty much told him like what happened, right? That it was Hung Min that was following him the night after he moved in to the apartment, to the rooftop. And he told him Bada came in to 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 say whether it was the person or not, and then Hanel also came to verify the whole situation. So he's just learning all of this information at that moment. And then the cop also made him listen to um Hanel and Hungmin's conversation right before the truck came and hit them, you know? And it was honestly listening to it on the radio. I mean, listening to it on the CCTV, it was very different than, how it happened in the end of episode in the end of episode 12, because you can kind of see his emotions as he's listening to it, and her asking him, like, did you have something to do with Youngwoo's medical thing? And then you just hear Hungmin screaming, and then you just hear the truck hit them, boom. So, like, he felt a lot of emotion while this was happening. So he started crying. And then after that, he went to Hanel to, like, kind of, I mean, he was yelling because you could feel how he was feeling because, he's like, did you get in an accident because of me? Like, do you know how I felt when I was waiting for you? Um, when I was waiting to hear that you were okay. um, and that him waiting for the surgery to happen was kind of different from the parents her mom waiting for the surgery to happen because they don't know how what goes on. But he knew. So it was more painful for him knowing what she was going through. So that's why he was like, you know, expressing how he felt. So hopefully, they make up. But in a way, when you think about it, they were both coming from a place of love for each other. And, Hannah wanted to find out more about the situation because she cared for him and she wanted to know if, in fact, Hungmin did something to hurt her, you know, to hurt him, I should say. Apparently, since Hung Min thought he was on the brink of death, he decided to reveal, why he did it to Hanol. And I'm just like, and he kind of said it in the beginning that Jungwoo didn't really do anything to him. If anything, Jungwoo thought he was his actual friend, right? But so what happened is that while he was tutoring Jungwoo, he got a phone call from his dad. His dad was drunk at a bar, and which was unlike the father. So the father called him, to come get him or something, and he went and asked Youngwoo's mom to like if he could, step away for two 2 hours, and the mom was like, the exams are in 3 weeks. Like, I don't know what you're asking me, but the exams are in 3 weeks. He was like, I really need to go to my dad. This is unlike him. And she's like, you still don't get it. The exam is in 3 weeks. I need you to focus on what I'm paying you for. So unfortunately, his father ended up dying. He took 8 pills of Ambien, and I don't really know why he took it. He's like he was so drunk that he thought he was at home, and he ended up taking 8. I don't know. That part doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, the father ended up passing away, which is very sad and unfortunate, you know? But he took it out on Young Woo by giving him Ambien too. Like, if you remember previous episodes when he found out, like, not he found out, but he kind of remembered that, you know, Hung Min put the Ambien in his drink, in his alcohol drink, because he wanted um Jung Woo's family to feel the same thing he was feeling, right? But the thing is, his family doesn't even care about him. Like, his family doesn't really care about him. So if you wanted to punish his family, this to feel the same way you're feeling, I don't know. I feel like you would have been best if you had messed up something with the father, because I feel like that the true villain in Hung Min's story is Jung Woo's mom, right? Because she's the one who didn't want to let him go and pick up his father from the bar. But the only way you could hurt her is by hurting the father's career. That's the only way from watching this whole series that could happen, right? Because and from that would hurt his parents, because I feel like even when they hurt him, his family didn't. Even when Hung Min hurt him and put him in the hospital after giving him um the Ambien and the alcohol, his family didn't come see him. They didn't care. And even when everything happened with his case, his mom just said, hurry up and put everything to bed because you can't hurt your father's career. If so, there's no way that hurting him would have been um would have been what would hurt the family. You know, because they never actually truly cared about him. And the fact that he went into plastic surgery and didn't go into studying heart, it or cardio whatever, um is the whole reason why they don't really talk to him like that, right? And I'm not saying that, oh, because of what happened to his father, he's justified, because he did not only hurt Young Woo, he also hurt Hano, because it wasn't like Ano did anything to him, huh? But he screwed her over plenty of time. So I'm not gonna stay here and be like, "Oh, he's a good person. That's the only thing he did." No. This man is not a good person. And no matter what happened can justify what he did. Episode 13 ended with, Hung Min pretty much passing away from his injuries because Young Woo went to go see him because Kwang Min asked to see him. So you know, it, Young Woo was telling him like, I didn't want to see you because I don't want to have to try to understand you or try to forgive you while you are in the state that you're in. And what state was he in is that he couldn't even like speak. He was pretty much gasping every time he was speaking, you know, and like his levels were going high as he was trying to speak to um Jung Woo. And he's like, don't forgive me, the and I don't know. It was just a little pointless to have that conversation, with the two of them having that conversation, to me anyway, because I mean it didn't really help Youngwoo it Jungwoo in any way, because he still felt betrayed and he doesn't want to forgive him. And I think like that's his right to do so, because this man Kwang Min, he caused way too much hurt in this whole series and to both of them, you know. So so it's like there's no forgiveness here. But maybe down the line, if he does want to completely heal and move on, maybe. But right now, I don't think so. Episode 14 started with, you know, Hannah being out of the hospital. It's been 3 weeks. They are still talking about, on TV. The news is still reporting on the doctor Hung Min and his crimes, and pretty much everything that happened, that he was connected to everything that happened with the patient that passed away. Um, but even to this day, they're still not showing you, that they have apologized to Jungwoo. But I think he said he has to file a lawsuit in order for him to get any kind of, you know, like to get all the payments that he made, or to fully c- clear himself from the mess that came from the medical incident, right? And with all of that being in the news, the hospital where Hannah was working reached back out to her, and the boss pretty much, told apologized to her saying that he wished he knew what was going on. She went through a lot, blah, blah, blah. And that, he's offering her a full time assistant professor position. She hasn't accepted yet, but she's taking the time to think about it. And then they also kind of showed you Hanel and Hung Rang together talking, and they showed you, Young Woo and Dae Young talking with each other about everything that's going on, how they're feeling. I mean, right now, both of them are pretty much dealing with their feelings on their own. And, you know, they're also letting people see that they're okay, even though on the inside they're probably not. So we also saw that, you know, young Jungwoo's mom called him to talk about, oh, I heard everything on the news. I can't believe you were friends with such a low life. And I'm just like, why are you even calling him? You don't even care. And they're like, oh, we're gonna be in Seoul this weekend. Hopefully we could see you. And he's like, I'm busy right now. Let me call you back. And his dad also called him to, see if they were gonna be able to see him. But he is not in this mind frame to see him, to see them, because when he was on the phone with his mom, he even asked his mom, "Did you know why Hungmin took that time off?" You know, while I was studying for my exam. The mom was like, "Yeah, yeah, I knew his father died, but you had the exam coming, and I didn't want you to lose focus on what you were doing." So that just made him, feel some type of way about his mom. So he decided that he didn't want to see them when they came to Seoul. He decided to go with Hanul um, back to Busan to, they go there during the same time every year to try to visit the father, because that was his favorite season. So they go there during that time to see him, to see his grave and visit him. This is the first time in a long while that Hanul is going, because she's usually busy with work. Um, but you know, which was a great moment for her. And Young Woo wanted to join the whole outing as well, right? Because he didn't want to stay home and having to see his own family. But the drive there was hilarious, because it's five of them going, and at first he was sitting in the middle, and the mom packed so much food for the road, and she also packed alcohol. So while she was pouring alcohol for him, Bada was driving, and he hit a bump, and all the alcohol spilled on Jungwoo. So the only outfit they had in there, um, I think it was a dress for the mom. I'm not sure, but yeah, he was pretty much dressed like that, and she was feeling pretty, apologetic. And then next time around, after they stopped to clean the car, you know, it was the uncle sitting in the middle. And while they were like singing and stuff, he kind of hit Jung Woo in the eye. So like you could see Hano getting pretty annoyed that they're pretty much hurting her boyfriend in the back seat, and he's just like, "It's okay, it's okay." So I think with this being episode 14, everyone is going to start getting their footing. Hannah needs to decide whether or not she's going to take the teaching position. Um, you know, Jung Woo needs to decide if he's going to stay with Dae Young, in his shop. And then, Dae Young and Hong Rang need to figure out what exactly are they, because they went on a they took her son out, and they were having a pretty good time, and the son kind of saw how they were acting with each other, and he asked them, like, are you guys dating? Are you my mom's boyfriend? And she was like, ha, no, 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 not my boyfriend. And he kind Dae Young was a little hurt by that statement. So, they kind of have to talk about that now and figure out where they are. I mean, they make a pretty cute couple. And like I said previously, they both kind of help with what the other is missing, right? So he needs somebody to help him with his teenage daughter that's, pretty much hitting puberty and shopping for bras and all that stuff. And she needs help with catching spiders and catching worms, because that's what her son is interested in. And, Dae Young doesn't have any problems with catching insects. Towards the end of episode 14, Hong Rang and Dae Young pretty much still don't know where they are. They were at the office dinner party, and they were talking about who are couples and who are secret couples. So they were putting Dae Young with the other with, I'm guessing that's his head secretary, right? Um and they were like, they are always together. They're kind of, so he tried to be like, what's her name? Hong Rang was also at the dinner party. So it was very, very awkward. And his facial expression, they were like, oh, he's flustered because, it's probably true that he has feelings for the secretary. And he's like, no, her and I are pretty much like sisters. So that's pretty much where it is. And then, she walked out because it was just so awkward. And before that, everybody asked the girl, like, well, no, Dae Young asked her, like, right, we're like brother and sister. And she's like, I don't know. She's like, and he was like, if we were on stranded on an island, do you think we would develop feelings for each other? She's like, maybe. And it was so funny because he's like, wait, no, she's like a sister. So when Hong Rang went out of the restaurant, Dae Young followed her, and he was pretty much saying his feelings, that he felt hurt when she said that he wasn't her boyfriend, and you know that he likes her. And while he was asking her, like, do you really think I'm not your boyfriend? The girl who the girl who everyone was putting with him came out, and because he left his wallet inside. So when she was coming, her foot got stuck, and she ended up kissing him on the cheek, because like the way she fell on him, she pretty much kissed him on the cheek right in front of Hong Rang. So it was just this, oh my gosh, it was so funny because he was just saying, no, she's a sister. And then, but the girl was still like, like she was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe my mouth touched him, type of thing. So hopefully, during the next episode 15, they start, you know, getting together and going on real official dates. And in terms of Hano and Jong-woo, she accepted the position at the job to be the assistant professor. of at the hospital that she used to be at. And at first she was like she didn't feel like she should take the job because she took those people away. But I'm like, that's exactly why you should go and take the job, because they were not good people to begin with, right? You pretty much took out the bad apples and now pretty much run the position the way you want to. And with her being at the new job, Youngwoo and her are not spending as much time together. So he gets pretty like, you know, well, you pretty much know how he is. Like he acts so childish, and towards the end, he tries to make time to be with her. So he has this surgery that can only be done in her hospital. So that's causing them to spend more time together. But before he came up with the idea to go to her hospital for the surgery, he got a phone call. And and remember earlier when I was like, they never even said if they were paying him his money back? Well, he he got the phone call, and they are giving him back 2 billion won. 2 billion won of the money that he paid, which is about $1 million, 1 million American dollars, if Google is correct. Yeah, it's about 1 million, 1,500,000. Yeah. So that's a lot of money that he's getting back, right? Um, and he told this to Daeyoung, and Daeyoung was like, "Well, what are you gonna do with all that money? We should go shopping. You should buy me a new car." He's like, "Well, I don't even have a car. Well, we should go get you a new car, like right now." And he's like, "I want to use the money to for something for me and Hannah to start our lives together." And he was like, "Wait, you don't mean?" So like they show a clip of him in the jewelry store, and then that's when he went to go see Hannah. And the way he broke down the information about the surgery, he's like, "I'm thinking of how we can both spend more time with each other." And she's over here like prepping her hair and like fixing her outfit just in case he was gonna propose. And in the end she was like, "You didn't have to make me tense up like that. You didn't have to phrase it the way you did. And he's like, "What do you mean I made you tense?" And then she's looking at her papers again, and he's taking the ring out of his bag, and then bloop, that's the end of episode 14. Dum dum dum. So I wonder how he's going to do this proposal. And this wraps up our journey on the Review Garden. Thank you for joining me today as we explored this drama. If you enjoyed this reaction and review, please remember to subscribe for more insightful videos. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback helps our channel grow. As always, I'm truly grateful for your support and for joining me on this journey on the Review Garden. Until next time, and happy listening. Bye.